Okay, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people just like you and just like me. So, yes, we've got another rock musician who has gotten the thing, and the article makes no mention if he had done the other thing prior to getting the thing. So, Ratt singer Stephen Pearcy postpones East Coast shows due to contracting the thing. He took the test and he tested plus. He got a plus on the test. And, it's funny because this article, the way they just scare the bejesus out of everybody, right? So he's tested positive for the disease caused by the novel thing. It's a disease. I didn't know this was a disease. I think of cancer, heart disease, emphysema. I think of those things as diseases. I didn't know something that's equivalent to something that we all probably had as kids and as adults, okay? Because that's really the closest thing to relate it to, but they're actually calling it a disease. It's a disease. And what happens when you contract a disease, typically, you have to have ongoing treatments that never end until your disease is cured or you die. And it seems as though that's where they're all going with this. Anyway, so shows got canceled in Warrendale, Pennsylvania, Buffalo and Jordan, New York, as well as in New Bedford, Massachusetts, pretty close to my old stomping grounds. Pearcy's representatives issued a statement earlier today confirming the vocalist's diagnosis and announcing the rescheduled dates, which will now take place in early 2022. So many things are just getting pushed out to 20. Again, using the word diagnosis, it just makes this sound so, I don't know, end times, doom, the end of the world, your diagnosis, and it's a disease. And I'm not buying that. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry. And again, this is from one of those websites that are so sensitive to this issue, right? And they become really skewed way out of whack with reality for most people. All right. As many of you have already heard, Stephen Pearcy has unfortunately been forced to postpone this week's dates on the East Coast out of an abundance of caution after learning he had contracted the thing. He has decided to cancel these dates. To this point, he's only experienced the mildest of symptoms. Let me say that again. The mildest. What is the mildest of symptoms? How about no symptoms? How about, I don't know if it's the mildest, what would be in that category? And based on his condition and the timeline of his exposure, he already appears to be close to a full recovery. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's got the mildest of symptoms. No word, by the way, no word through this entire article about if Stephen did the thing. So what's weird to me is, okay, the people who say you need to go and do this are bragging, hey, this is exactly what will happen, right? It's the mildest, and he's already on the road to a full recovery, right? So why even cancel the dates? Why even cancel the dates? I don't know, because the show is like today, and then there's another one coming up not too far after that. So out of an abundance of caution, it appears that there's a lot of caution here, right? And there's a lot of hype that goes along with just putting this out there, right? So just say, look, he's not feeling well. He's not feeling well and has decided to postpone some gigs. Of course, we have to give this disease some exposure. See how that works? I mean, to put that word in the article, and then again to say this is the novel thing that's causing the disease. And of course, if Stephen Pearcy did go and do the thing, by the way, Stephen Pearcy has other health issues. He was battling, I believe, liver cancer, right, for quite some time, from what I read. He had hepatitis, and he battled that for a while. And I don't know how he's doing there. I think he did go in for surgery at one point. So he's had other health issues, right? And I'm wondering if his doctors were like, yeah, man, this would be a great thing for you to do. See, there's no word that he did it, and there's a good chance that maybe he didn't do it. And who's to say he's not using some kind of, Joe Rogan protocol? Who knows, right? Because there's no mention of what he did or what he's doing currently and what he did prior. So again, it's just interesting, the omissions, and it's interesting how they word things. They tell you, hey, no big deal, but they didn't take the opportunity to tell everybody that's because Stephen did the thing, right? Because this is what we hear from Gene Simmons. Oh, just do it, Paul Stanley. Even though the thing kicked his rear end, he's out there telling everybody, this is great. I'm glad I did it. And if you don't want to get the thing, this might not be the thing to do, but this article leaves that blank. And the reader is just left thinking, okay, he's tested for this. And it's mild, it's super mild. So using the current government narrative, well, that's obviously because Stephen went and did what he was supposed to do. This is why. There's nothing to see here because Stephen, now the people that don't do this, they put everybody's life at risk. And yeah, who's to say he did this? He had a couple of pretty serious health conditions, underlying conditions, right? Maybe he's a great, according to the media, he's a great candidate then, but then there's no mention of, because this would be a great opportunity for them to do their sales pitch for big pharma, but they didn't do it. So I'm wondering if they couldn't do it because, Stephen didn't do what he was supposed to do. Who knows? But this is the mystery of what the media is doing to everybody day in and day out. And it's happening all over the place, all over the world. I mean, I'm on a couple of other platforms now where I get information that I can't get on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere because they just don't allow it. And I hear both platforms, Facebook and Twitter, are going to be just putting the hammer down even more on dissenting views, not misinformation, just information they don't want you to see. And that's what pretty much everything is about right now. When they say mis and disinformation, that means nothing. They're basically just saying, this is stuff we just don't want you to see because it doesn't fit what we're trying to fear you with. Let me say that again. It doesn't fit with what we're trying to fear you with. Use fear in a different way. They're fearing us again. And it's a sad day when you wake up each morning and you wake up in a state of fear and mind paralysis because the powers that be want you to think that Stephen Pearcy has got a disease. He's got a disease, and this thing causes a disease. Doesn't cause something that you can manage or treat. Nope. The only way you can do it is to do what they tell you to do. So really scary stuff each day. I try to stay positive. Ratt isn't the music I listen to on a daily basis. I do like some of their music, and I did listen a lot to it when I was younger, but I don't really, I think my tastes are really kind of changing a bit. And it's about time, right? It's about time. I do enjoy the occasional thing, not the other thing, but just the music from my past. But today I've been kind of getting into, and recently been getting into, a lot of music that's more blues oriented, that's more West Coast oriented, stuff that doesn't make your ears bleed, stuff where you can listen to it and hear all the lyrics. I do like the occasional barn burning hard rock song with a really good guitar and good musicians, but I'm starting to kind of put away bands that I listened to in the 80s to some degree, because I don't know. It's not that it's dated. It's just that, again, my tastes are changing. It happens. People change as they get older, and I'm in that category. But I do enjoy the occasional Ratt song, not all the time, but I do like some of it. And apparently, Stephen Pearcy was trying to get Ratt back together again. I mean, technically they are together, but, one other guy who was in the band is not in the band currently, trying to recruit him back in so they can go out and do a tour and possibly an album. But a lot of these older bands are just, riding out their career with their catalog, and there is nowhere for them to get their music on the radio. So it's not going to make them money. It's going to be a loss leader. The label will put it out, whether it's Frontiers, they'll put it out, and it might sell here and there in pockets, mostly in European countries, certainly not here in the States. So again, there's not a lot of motivation for bands to do that. And I applaud Stephen Pearcy for wanting to put out some new stuff. I do. I think that's really cool. And bands should do that, but nobody's going to be supporting your work. So I don't know. I can completely understand why other band members would say, screw that. Let's just play the hits, and the casual fans that are showing up, they do want you to just play the hits. So it's a catch-22. All right. So went too far, went too long on this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget about Patreon for $1 a month. And don't forget to check out my channel over on Rumble. It's the same content, except it's completely crazy and off the hook. So you'll have to go over there every so often. I will post for patrons when I put videos up over there. It's stuff that they don't want you to say over here. All right. And it's only going to get worse, folks. So enjoy the ride, because the ride is going to get pretty crazy. All right. See you soon.